Good. Well, thank you. Let's change the subject and
Okay. I'll switch my hat.
Talk about the Steamship Authority. What's going on there?
The steamship we're smooth sailing, which is good. You don't want to hear anything from the steamship because that means something's not happening well. So we're doing good. Our passenger numbers, our fast boat passenger numbers are up, which is a good thing, and I think it reflects on more and more the fast boat.
Almost by 30,000 people.
Yeah, it's about 10%, I believe. Last year it was up. And that's a reflection of the ease and affordability of being able to go down and get on a fast boat, and parking on the other side.
We won't talk about the impact that's had on the airport, but that's another.
It has. It's had a big impact on the airport.
What about the slow boat?
The slow boat seems to be pretty steady over the years. If you look at the numbers, it seems to be pretty steady. There's some minor fluctuations, even with cars. Trucks are actually up quite a bit. Which
is a sign of economic activity.
And construction. Most of that's construction.
But the passengers, I noticed, was down, a small percentage, but something like 6,000 people.
Right.
Year over year.
Which again, it doesn't really change a whole lot. Even on the Vineyard, it's the same thing. The passenger numbers did bump around a little bit, but it's not, for the most part, they're pretty steady.
How do you sense the Highline is doing? Have they had the same kind of increases?
They have, yeah. Roughly the same, maybe a little bit more because of the timing of their boats, I believe. They have an early boat that leaves Hyannis, which carries a lot of the tradespeople, workers who come over for the day. So those numbers have been up quite a bit. There's been a lot of building. In 2013, there was a lot of building.
Right, it was. There's nothing new on the boats front. You've sort of refurbished both the.
We're going to have a new boat it's sort of in the pipeline now. It's about a 2 to 3 year process to get a new boat, to build it, to design it, to get the approvals and the bidding process. Right. We're stuck with a bureaucratic bidding process that procurement that a lot of people look at and say, well, why can't you just go and get that? Why there's a boat over there, why can't you go buy that? And we can't. We have very strict guidelines on what we can and cannot do. So
what kind of boat is it going to be, and which run is it going to be on?
It's going to be a sort of I guess we're calling it a sort of hybrid freight boat, which is a sort of a combination between the freight boats that we have and a passenger vessel like the Nantucket or the Martha's Vineyard. It's going to be sort of a hybrid between those. It's going to be, I think initially it's going to start on the Vineyard route, but it's going to be a boat that can go back and forth. If we need it on our route, it's easily going to be able to.
Will the vehicle space be enclosed or open?
We haven't decided yet. That's a cost issue. It's something millions of dollars more to enclose it versus not. Yeah. So it's all whatever steel costs. So there are a lot of considerations.
You can't use carbon fiber or the way they do in airplanes.
No. And we even looked at things like fueling it with natural gas and that sort of thing. But a lot of that stuff just adds to the price.
Right.
And we don't, the more money that we have to spend to do it, the higher our rates go, and we don't want that either.
So that's going to be 2 or 3 years out.
Yeah,
but the refurbishing of the Eagle and the Nantucket's completed.
Yep,
those are good for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, those are in good shape. It's surprisingly the Nantucket is 40 years old at this point, which is you look at it and you don't it doesn't seem like a 40-year-old boat, but yeah, the average I think we're projecting
That's
is
scary. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, makes you feel old, right?
It does, yes.
Yeah.
How old is the Martha's Vineyard?
That's about 20 years younger, so it's about 20 years or so. That was built in '93, I believe.
And the Eagle was
87.
Right.
So
it's got the ways to go still.
Yeah, the average I think is 50 to 60 years we expect to get out of them, which is pretty good.
Anything else we should know about the steamship?
I think we're getting a new member from Falmouth. The Falmouth board member resigned in November, and they just this Falmouth Selectmen just approved a new person who I haven't met yet. So hopefully they'll be able to get along with us and everything will be smooth.
Yeah, basically you're all getting along now.
We are all getting along.
Unlike a few years ago.
That's right. It's in the best interest of everybody, both islands, even the mainland ports, for everyone to get along. And I think we all recognize that.
Does New Bedford still play a role? I mean, they have a member on.
They have a member. He has a 10% vote. And every once in a while he sort of nudges me and says, what about going to New Bedford? And that's economically right now that's just not a possibility. But it comes up, and it's coming up in Falmouth now because we're going through a redesign of the Woods Hole terminal. And a lot of the Falmouth people are very upset because they think that because we're going to be adding a slip, that's going to mean an increase in traffic. And there's already, if you've ever been into Woods Hole or Falmouth, there's basically one road, very narrow road that goes in, and all this traffic comes in and out, and it's kind of contentious because they want everything to shift to New Bedford, and then they won't have to deal with it. So
yeah, reality bites, doesn't it?
well, the Vineyard people don't want to go to New Bedford either.
No, that's right.
So.
No, that's true. That's another consideration.
But yeah, there a lot of things coming together, but we all seem to get along. So it's we have the island's best interest at heart.
Did the Steamship Authority play a role in the reinstitution of the train service last summer?
They did not. No, but it's been beneficial. Not just for the steamship, but for the Cape in general. My understanding was that train service was very, very successful, and they're going to, I think, expand it this coming year.
Have they tried to tie it in with you all and promotions?
They have. Not so much with somewhat with promotions, but timing. The train, I think, arrives in Hyannis about a half hour or less before our last boat leaves Hyannis. So there's some. Not everyone on the train obviously goes to Nantucket, but there's some coordination there. It's sort of loose, but I think as this goes on, we'll sort of get better at it.
Good. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
RobRanney, real estate expert from Denby Real Estate, and also the town of Nantucket representative on the Steamship Authority. Thank you very much, Rob.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.